the trials and tribulations of consensus. So Dr. Naumes asked me to write a consensus-themed song for you, and so, oh, we have more of them in there? Okay. All right, well, the title of this will be evident once we get a little further along. And are they going to come out? Shall we now? Let's get the other group, because otherwise they'll come out and be confused in the middle.
Join us for a musical rendition of...
We're almost done.
Please?
We are not finished.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, though.
All right.
Yes, I understand. It's an important
Oh, my hand.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay. Already feeling embarrassed. I want you to like me. I want you to approve. And so I'm gonna agree with almost everything you do. I feel really good about myself. I'm working in a group. I'm not gonna cause any conflict. I'm not gonna get in the way of you. But as it turns out, this isn't actually totally proactive group behavior. It's gonna F things up at the end, and I'll tell you exactly how. I am a consensus slut. I am a consensus slut. Now you may not know what that means. You've heard of sluts before. Sure, you either knew some or were one in high school. Regular sluts, they can get STDs. Those can kill you or just be really embarrassing. But consensus sluts, they've got another kind of disease. But they can lead you to false consensus. They can cause groupthink. You say, what's groupthink all about? Well, I'll tell you. Did you see Challenger explode in 1986? Because I did. That room was full of consensus sluts. NASA is one big fat consensus slut. Yeah, that's right. Takes it from behind. Sorry about that. But they do. That's why they closed down. I'm gonna go ahead and avoid conflict, and every chance I get, I'm gonna push my group ahead to a conclusion that it did not earn or come to about honestly. I believe that consensus means everybody's got to agree and smile at each other. And I'm afraid to face conflict even when I'm sitting in my class today eating my Valentine's Day candy and we're being asked provocative questions about the nature of our groups, and I'm like, I'm not gonna address this. Instead, I'm gonna eat some candy. It's hard to be honest about yourself when you're in a group, but that's totally normal because it makes us feel insecure. It lights up our frontal lobe and makes us understand that we are just one person among many. And when we get into groups, we start thinking that we're supposed to become totally cohesive and love each other at all points, and if we engage in conflict at any moment, it's a sign of our weakness, but actually it's a sign of our strength because it allows for the expression of the individual diversity of every single group member in the room and creates higher levels of decision making, even though it's frustrating. But remember one thing. You don't actually have to agree with something for it to be consensus. You can have people who don't actually like the decision, but they agree to go along with it at least for a short period of time, a trial period, if you will, and they agree to agree and support the decision for a brief period of time. Because not everybody has to like it for it to be consensus. You just have to be on board with the group and go along with it and not be an asshole. Well, I've changed my ways. I'm not gonna be a consensus slut no more. I'm gonna disagree with my group members when they walk into the door. I'm gonna be like, well, have you thought about point A, point B, and point D? And they're going to be like, no, I didn't think about that. And I'm going to be like, well, did you consider the repercussions of this, that, and the other thing? And I'm going to be like, no, I didn't think about that either. Right? And I'm going to be like, you're an idiot. Actually, I'm not going to say that. That would not be constructive to the group process. In a healthy group, everybody's got to express themselves without judgment as long as they're not saying anything derogatory or deconstructive. You've got to be willing to say things like, I have to go poop. And nobody hates you for that. You've got to also be able to say things like, Margaret, I don't really agree with what you're saying right now, and I'm finding your tone to be a little bit offensive, but other than that, I'm really glad you're here. So I hope you got to the last question of your group work today and established one thing that you really like about your group members, at least one or two qualities that you can support in each other and use to guide yourselves through difficult times. And if not, make something nice up. Most people like to have their shoes complimented, even if they're not into shoes. You've got nice shoes on today. See how nice that felt? All right, let me see. Closing words on consensus, because I know I'm only keeping you long, but that's okay. They're still hiding in the room because they don't want to be a part of the group today. No, they're feeling the individuality, and that's all right. We'll support them in that because they are getting cohesive. And hopefully in the future, everybody will remember to express yourselves, not to fear conflict, and to seek out democratic leadership that supports conflict, understands that a devil's advocate will help us lead to higher quality decisions and avoid the slippery slope and perils of groupthink. And that is all. Woo!